I want to bring in Ryan Kessler because he is in Saskatoon right now, where the weather looks like it's pretty nice. It is beginning phase 2 of reopening its economy. What does that look like in Saskatoon, Ryan?
Well, certainly, Farah, phase 2 in Saskatchewan looks like this. It's essentially the reopening of retail. That includes both the regular storefronts that would open onto the street, but also shopping malls will be open as well. Along with that, some basic personal services will be available beginning today. That includes things like acupuncture. If a person was looking for a massage, that would be available. And I don't know about you, but certainly for me, I'm looking forward to finally getting my hair cut. That is now permissible in Saskatchewan for the first time since mid-March. So this is basically building on the first phase that took effect earlier this month. And at that point, it was really just basic medical services. So things like going to the dentist, going to the chiropractor. So not a lot of tangible economic benefit from phase 1, whereas phase 2 is really the phase where experts are saying this is an opportunity to start getting the economy back online, at least for those people who A, feel like they're prepared to do it, and B, were actually able to weather the storm of the last few weeks here. But of course, this does not mean that stores will open and look exactly the same as they were before the pandemic. Really, you're going to see a lot of places operating at 50% capacity. I know a lot of hair salons have been talking about spacing out their appointments, reducing some of the services available. Of course, physical distancing is a cornerstone of making sure that this phase is actually a success. So when you look at things like going to the hair salon, distancing is just not possible. So things like PPE will be critical in that scenario. I've seen a few salons actually install what looks like a buffet sneeze guard to separate the hairdresser from the person receiving hair services. Masks will be required in some places. So really, it's an opportunity to get the economy back online in a revised way compared to what we saw pre-pandemic.
Okay. Ryan, I want to switch gears because today is the first time we've heard from the Prime Minister since the snowbird crashed in British Columbia. He says he's going to be speaking to the family. Saskatchewan is, of course, the home province. Their base is in Moose Jaw. How is the community handling this tragedy?
Well, really all of Saskatchewan is shocked by this, first and foremost because the snowbirds have been a cornerstone of Moose Jaw since the early 1970s, but also because the snowbirds were just in Saskatchewan days ago. So here they were, our treasured icon for the province, and then to see the tragedy happen over the weekend has been really unfortunate for everyone in the province, and certainly people have been sending their thoughts to the snowbirds. But in Moose Jaw specifically, Moose Jaw is a small city in this province. It's a beautiful city in this province. It's one where the snowbirds are really a beloved part of their community. So you could walk out into the streets of Moose Jaw and just hear a sound in the sky. You could look up and see the snowbirds practicing above your community. And there's actually been a recent push just in the last few years here to strengthen the ties even further between the snowbirds and Moose Jaw. The mayor of Moose Jaw crediting a lot of those efforts to Jen Casey. The mayor recalling her as being someone who was always professional, always kind, as the Prime Minister mentioned, a wonderful sense of humor. So really to lose her and to see this tragedy happen has really been heartbreaking for everyone here.
It's amazing how many people she's touched from coast to coast. A former journalist, a lot of my colleagues here at Global News knew her well, said she was just a kind soul, always smiling. And the Prime Minister again speaking to Jen Casey's family coming up. He hasn't spoken to them yet, but will be doing so. Thank you, Ryan, for your coverage. Let's bring back David Akin. David, let's talk about the CEBA specifically. And I know Ryan brought up hair salons. He's going to be getting a haircut. And the Prime Minister used hair salons as an example of the expansion of the Canada Emergency Business Account